everybody, this is Matt from TeknoAXE Gaming. How are you guys doing? So, I wanted to do one more game of Star Crusade before we move on here. Basically because in the first game, I basically went through all the tutorials here, and I didn't really have a sense of what was going on. Basically, that a lot of the mechanics were just like Hearthstone. And so before I move on, I wanted to go through the decks just in case you guys wanted to see those, and also play a match between me and an actual person. So let's see if we can actually do that. So first, let's go into the decks, and as you can see, I've got basically a deck right here. But we're going to probably just choose something new, and we're going to basically choose an empty deck here. As you can see, we've got different factions that we can choose from here. These are basically your character choices that you get from Hearthstone, but they call them factions here because they want to differentiate themselves from Hearthstone just a little bit. But essentially, these are your characters here. So you've got these 6 different factions here. You've got the Hijar Gog, you've got the Shantai, you've got the Hierarchy, that's awkward. You've got Terran, which is basically your Earth right here, the Consortium, and then you've also got the Anunnakai. So I'm going to basically go for, we don't want to do anything Earth-like because, you know, we want to be original here. So I'm going to choose this and see what we've got for cards, and let's build a deck. Alright, so you've got Adamantium armor, which is basically target unit gains invincible this turn. It seems like a good thing to preserve your units in this kind of game. We've got Marduk's Faithful. At the end of your turn, increase psychic charge by 1. I'm going to assume that your psychic charge is actually an ability that you can actually choose from your it's like a hero's ability, except for you've got 3. So let's actually choose one of these really quick and see if we can't do that. Let's see. First, before we do that, we'll choose our cards really quick. Alright, so Nightmare's Visage. Cypher. When an enemy unit attacks, is lowered by 5. Okay. Alright, so Overload. Disable and deal 1 damage to 2 random enemy units. Okay. Random enemy unit gains Pacifist. I actually like this card. I think that this was a pretty useful card for me to have in the tutorial, so we're going to basically choose a couple of those. Telekinetic Blast. Deal 3 damage to an enemy unit. Seems like a good spell to have, actually. Persuade. Copy 2 random unit cards from your opponent's hand into your hand. So that's basically that would be your priest's mind spell there that gains you random cards from your enemy's deck. Illusionary Force. Deploy a copy of target friendly unit that gains screen and passive. Okay. Alright, so basically, from what I'm understanding from this card, you copy a friendly unit, but it gains passive, fist, and a screen as well. So, it can't attack you, or it can't attack an enemy unit, but it can also basically gain screen, so it'll deal damage if it is attacked. That's what I'm interpreting from the card text here, actually. So, we've got that. We can go into our neutral cards. As you can see, these are basically the faction cards. I'm not really sure why they display the faction cards here when you've already chose a faction. They should just probably show the Anunkai stuff and then your neutral cards as well. So for your neutral cards, we've got an array of interesting things. You've got 1 cost here. This is your basic 1 cost that has 2 attack and 1 health. I'll choose one of those just because it's a great thing to play for like a 1 cost here. Although you've got this rippers here, and basically at the end of each turn, gain 1 attack. So I'll try one of these out. I'm basically going to try some of these out just to see exactly how they work out in a deck. Alright, we've got Soldier of Fortune. Transfer to Commander with more health at the end of each turn. So basically, this guy runs against the person that has the least advantage. He teams up with the guy that actually has the most health. So if you have more health and you play this guy, he'll stay with you. But if the other guy attacks you and you end up with less health than him, then basically he defects over to his side. They should probably say that. This transfer to commander with more health at the end of turn is kind of an awkward way of wording things. I don't necessarily think it's understandable, but we'll gain one of those just in case. By the way, this is where your cards go. On Hearthstone is to your right. They move this to the left, and as you can see, you cannot mouse over these items here to basically see what these cards do. Alright, so we've got a defensive bunker here. I don't necessarily want to choose this one because I don't think it's particularly a great thing to have. This is basically your gorilla here, basically with the 1 and 4. Although that gorilla in Hearthstone actually costs 3. So it might not be such a bad thing to have, although I believe I've seen a better one here in the deck. So we'll leave that here for now. Fighter Squadron. Activate. Gain screen if you have more than 2 supply crates. Okay, so these would be supply crates. So if you have more than 2 of these, then you actually gain a screen. Okay, I can see how that goes. We can actually gain one of these. And if you have more than 2 supply crates after that, you gain a screen. So that seems like a fair deal, actually. Alright, so Assault. Cannot attack until the end of your next turn. That seems like a bad unit to have. I would think that this unit actually dies before you actually get to the next turn. So we can do that. And this one has firepower. This one actually is kind of useful from what I've learned. Your firepower adds to one of these abilities here. So we'll get to the abilities here once I get to those. Those would be the modules right here. As a matter of fact, we can actually go into these and actually choose the modules. So we have quite a bit to choose from here. The modules. This one is active defense. Target friendly unit gains 2 attack during opponent's next turn. So basically you end the turn and the thing that you targeted on your turn basically gains 2 attack there. Alright. So we've got equip 1/1 blaster. So this calls a 1/1 blaster, I believe. I'm not sure. Carbon plate. Target units gains 1 soak during the opponent's next turn. That basically means that it can basically absorb 1 damage before it takes health damage and stuff like that. So then you've got convoy rating as well. This is basically says next card your opponent draws from a deck will cost 1 supply more. Okay, so it's effectively sabotaging your card draw to make it cost more. Gremlin Protocol. Your opponent's next module will use 1 cost supply or 5 energy more, 10 supply, and 4 energy max. Okay? Whatever that, a lot of this stuff I'm not sure of the definitions, so you just have to take it with a grain of salt. Incursion. Give target friendly unit text, deal 2 damage to enemy commander at the end of turn, and remove this effect. Alright. Next card you draw will cost 1 supply less. That seems like a fair deal, actually. We might actually choose that for one of our abilities here. Noise Veil. Target enemy unit gains -2 attack during opponent's next turn. Okay, that's fine. So you can use that to basically decrease a unit's attack to lessen the damage that it can do. Regenerative tissue. Target unit restores 3 health at the end of the opponent's next turn. Shelling. Target unit takes 2 damage at the end of the opponent's next turn. Do we have anything more? Okay, we've got Acolyte. Deploy a 0-1 Glimmer with Screen. So this might actually help you if you're really in trouble. Just gain you an extra thing that somebody has to kill before they do anything else. And then Mind Anchor, which is decrease target unit's attack by 1 or target your commander to gain 1 psychic charge. So we'll choose that. And what else do we need? I would probably go with probably next card your opponent draws from a deck will cost 1 supply more. We'll do that. Alright, so on to choosing cards. We right now have quite a bit of 1 and 2 cost cards, but let's see what else we can choose from the deck here. We've got Rangers, it's a basic 2 cost, 2, 3. You've got an Ordnance, which I think I've already got. If not, I should probably choose one of these guys, which basically increases your firepower by a little bit. Alright, so you also got Syndicate Stormers, which is your basic 2 cost, 3/2. That's pretty good on the attack, not so much on health. And this, I'm not sure what the difference is, basically, other than the class of card that you've got. So what we can do basically is we'll leave this alone. We'll start on our 3 cards here. Arsenal Dropship. At the end of your turn, random friendly unit gains 1 attack. Seems like a pretty good thing to have, actually. Autovec Turret. It's a 4/2, and you gain 1 firepower with these things. It's pretty good on the attack, but obviously the health really sucks. So we'll choose one of them just so you guys can see what it does. Then we've got the Iridani. This is your gorilla here. This is the gorilla from Hearthstone right here. You've got your 3 cost here, and you've got basically a 1 attack and a 6 health here. So that's basically your gorilla here. It's not really the greatest thing, but I know that there's like a better spread right here, down here with sentry drones. We're going to basically choose 2 of those. All right, so then we've got this guy, Activate, deploy 1/1 Iridani Volunteer. This is Iridani Sergeant. So basically what you get is 2 units for the price of 1. So it seems like a good idea to have one of those guys as well. Activate, disable target enemy unit. Yeah, you can probably disable probably means silence them. So whatever ability these things have, you can basically disable those guys as well. Assault, I'm not really sure what assault means. So we're going to choose one of those guys, and hopefully we can find that out. Mobility is your basic charge unit right here. So we will choose one of those guys here. Alright, so we have another screen here, and this is basically your Ascension Shieldmaster, which is much better than the 1/6 that you get. That's a Gorilla unit. You also have a +1 firepower 4/4 here as well. You get some card draw as well. We're going to have one of those. This is a soak. Not sure I really want to do the soak quite as much. And then you've got another charge here, which is basically a better version of charge. Doesn't do quite as much damage here, but this is your charge in reverse from your warrior unit on Hearthstone, where the warrior charge unit basically was a 4/3. So we can get one of those. We'll get a reinforced rover, and then we'll walk it out and get +1 firepower here. Armored, not really sure what that does as well, so we'll choose it just to see what it actually does. This is basically a 5/5/6, so this is kind of like your a good unit to have because it's got more health, 1 more health, and it's a really good value for the cost that it has. Alright, so now we're getting to the really high cost stuff. We've got 4 more to choose from, so we should choose pretty carefully. So, impact. Adjacent units gain +1 firepower. Seems like a good thing to have. This is a 6/8. I'm not really a fan of this kind of spread, where you've got a really low damage and a really high health. But, let's move on, though. Alright, so Varaxian Gunboat. Impact. All other friendly units gain +1 attack. Seems pretty good. It's almost like the buff where you get the every other unit gains 1/1, except for this is only a +1 attack for everything. There's no health increase. Let's gain a shield here, and actually let's gain 2 shields here because really I don't think anything else is needed. This is pretty much a fairly well balanced deck, and I've got some abilities that I'm wanting to show off here as well. Alright, so let's save the deck, and let's go back, and we're going to start by trying to play in the ladder mode right here, or the ranked mode, I should say. Alright, so this is my Anunkai. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. If this is actually based on anything, please let me know, because I have no idea if this is actually based on a prior IP or not. Alright, so we're going into ranked mode here, and we're going to try and face somebody. In the prior games, I tried to face a couple people, and it didn't seem like there was like a lot of people online. And these guys are, this guy's name is Practice, so already I know that this guy is not an actual person, so we're going to try the raid option next. Alright, so we're going to get rid of this shield right here, because it's obviously too high. We're going to keep the screen here, but let's see if we can... All of these actually seem pretty good for a start, actually. So we're going second, so obviously we get the coin here. So we're not going to actually do anything, though, because we don't have this. Also, if you want to note, when you choose a deck, you have to basically... Your opponent's health, or your health, is based on how many cards that you have. If you only have 25 cards, or the card deck minimum, you get 25 health. So if you were an actual person, you would choose as many cards as possible to gain that health back up. So I'm not really sure. This is not an actual person playing here. Alright, so we're going to choose this guy here and bring the turn over to the other. Okay, so one other thing that we can do is we can bring a card draw here. We can also do a drop ship right here, which will increase my attack here. We don't really... This guy has 0 attack and 1 health. And all your cards with credit cost 1 less. Okay? So that's his game. He's trying to basically gain less cost. Let's play a screen here. We'll take out the screen next turn. Okay. So this is basically the Iridani Sergeant. We have got one of those, actually. It's a pretty good card to play. We want to get rid of this guy. And we'll play one of our own. And I don't think we can play anything else. Not even with the coin. So we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so he just played a secret. So let's see what the secret actually is. Catastrophic failure. Okay. So this one is assault. Okay. So assault actually is your Wind Fury in Hearthstone. It can attack twice. So we want to get rid of that.
When it clicks like that, you have to reload.
When it clicks later, you have to reload. Thank you. I'd rather see what happens if I attack this guy, what this is. When your commander is attacked, disable the target enemy. Okay, so that unit is attacked, can't actually attack for this turn. But that's fine, because it really was only a 1 damage that I was going to deal out there. So what we can do, though, is we can get a card draw here. And I've got 1 supply left. I can't really do anything more, but actually I can activate an ability here. You can either say that next time you draw will cost 1 supply less, or the next card your opponent draws will cost more. I want to actually do that, and we can actually see what he draws. Well, we don't actually see it, but I'm sure he's really mad. Okay. Decrease a target unit's attack by 1, or target your commander to gain 1 psychic charge. We're going to actually reduce this guy's target by 1. And the reason for that is we can take this guy out. And then we can take out this guy without actually sacrificing this, without this guy putting any effort onto it. We'll play a screen. And once again, we can't really play our coin for anything, but I want to basically start increasing the costs of this guy's card, so it'll hinder his ability to play stuff. Okay, so once again, we've got this guy right here. It's his card draw, and he's got another Iridani Sergeant with his little minion there. We can actually take him out.
Hostile forces detected.
By doing that, we take out his dropship there. Take out that, and then we're going to play something really big.
Establishing weapons link.
Jason, I probably should have just done that, but whatever. And we can actually play the other guy. So we can play the coin and gain active screen. And there you go. We've got another screen. So the screen doesn't actually cost anything. It's just if you have a supply chain that's more than 2, you get basically a screen out of it. Although, no, that was actually pretty good.
Your bosses will crumble.
It's not a very good screen, is it?
Hostile forces detected.
It's basically your gorilla.
Sound the 6th trumpet.
Alright, so we can play something really big, or we've got something that deploys an extra soldier. Copy 2 random units from your opponent's hand into your hand. Okay, let's see what this does. So we've got a Varaxian gunboat, and we've got a heavy grav ship. At the beginning of your turn, gain 1 attack. Alright. There's not too many cards on this game so far. So we're going to basically hinder him out. We're going to reduce mine, and then we're going to... We can't actually use that on an enemy unit because everybody's done. Let's play this guy. We've got a pretty full field here. See what he can do to basically make my day. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just take him out.
When it clicks like that, you have to reload.
Take this guy out.
Your bosses will crumble.
Hit him in the face. We get a Corvette out of this.
Your trump card is here.
And we'll place a screen as well. And we'll do all this, right?
Supply drop on the way.
basic 3-2. You've got your Corvette going here. I think I can take him out, though. I definitely can. Do I want to use this guy?
Your bosses will crumble.
Getting it done.
And we'll hit him in the face for 3. Play a +1 firepower and use our abilities. And we're sitting pretty here. I think he's in trouble. Alright, so we can go like this.
Getting it done.
Play one here.
Bring all weapons to bear.
Sound the sixth trumpet.
There are definitely guns on this thing. Let's play our own Corvette.
More guns for you.
Use our abilities and then keep going.
Supply drop on the way.
You're in trouble. What are you going to do?
Supply drop on the way.
Well then. Alright. Still won't help you though.
Getting it done.
Alright. So obviously that wasn't against the person, and when I come back we'll try a raid. Alright, we'll be back in just a minute. Okay everybody, so that was the match there. We can't actually play raid yet because we haven't won any matches. We haven't won enough ranked matches, so we're going to basically do that. We're going to play ranked and let's see what we get. It's taking a little bit to find one. Maybe there is an actual person going to be playing here. It looks very trippy, I gotta say. Is something coming in? It looks like I'm going to be playing somebody. Coyote XLI. This actually might be an actual person here. So let's see if we can actually do something. Or maybe not. Looks like we are less than optimal here. Alright, so we have got a couple things that we can actually do here. I like this card right here, so we're going to confirm our deck. Looks like we're going first. So we're going to play this guy right here. And see if what we've got here. Huh. We might actually be playing an actual person here. Interesting. Alright. Alright, so we're going to gain an attack. What is this again? What is this going? Alright. I have no idea. Maybe it leads up to something. But we'll see what our opponent plays now. What we can play on the next run is basically our autovac turret, which gains us 1 firepower. He has nothing, so we are going to play an autovac turret or an arsenal dropship. Seems like we should play one of these guys, and can we actually attack something? We don't really have that ability yet. Master Chief. I wonder if he's actually pretty good. Let's see. That was a pretty good move. I might actually lose this time. Alright, so we can have one of these guys right here. It's the Lightning Guard with +1 firepower. A lot of these names are pretty generic, I would say. What planet are you fighting for? This looks like Tatooine almost. What does this guy have? This guy has nothing. I guess. It's just a 1+1 or 1/1 guardsman, I guess. Did he call that out of here? I think he did. Alright, so we've got his own lightning guard. What can we do here? Alright, so we can deal 4 damage to an enemy unit, which is perfect because we've got one of these guys right here. And it only costs about 2 as well. And we can also deploy an arsenal dropship as well. So what we're going to do is first we're going to we're going to do that. And then we're going to deploy our arsenal dropship here. And we're going to hit him in the face.
Supply drop on the way.
Coyote XLI doesn't seem so generic a name, actually. I don't know. It's still questionable. His health is still questionable, too. Alright, so that is his ability that he's playing there. He just played that.
I can't abandon them.
What did he just... Okay, so he played something. Wow. That was pretty good, actually. Alright, so we have got a tactical screen that we can use. We can also use our abilities here as well. We don't really want to make a 1/1 pacifist. We can also do anti-anthem armor, which basically gains us invincible at 1 turn. And then we also get, well, that's the same thing, right? So let's actually do this. And we will decrease this guy's target ability by, he's a 0/1 now, so good luck using that guy. Okay, so they've got a basic, they've got kind of like a skybox here. And basically they're turning the skybox to kind of show that there's like changes going on. Alright, guy. What have we got? What have you got for me? Let's go. He's not really sure what to do. His 0/1 is not able to attack. So what is he going to do? Alright, so he's got a 3/3 and a 2/3 that's activate, gain, attack equal to firepower. Okay. So he had a firepower of 2, I guess. Didn't really see what was going on there. Anyways, it's okay. We've got card draw. We've got pacifist. Basically, we can gain an... Well, that didn't work. I already silenced that guy, so that was not a good thing to play. Alright, so we can do that. Let's actually... We can't actually... Target unit gains invincible this turn, so we're going to basically do that. Take out his 3/2 without gaining any damage and putting it back to our Coyote XLI guy. Okay. We might actually be in trouble here. I don't really have much in the way of cards. Basically, a fighter squadron. Gain screen if you got more than 2 crates. We'll have a screen for sure. Although he's only got 2 attack here as well. Oh, we can deploy our shields. Let's go ahead and activate this ability here and send them on our way. So you've got 2 1 costs, or 2 1 damage minions that will pretty much die. And that's it. So what have you got to play with your cards? The planet effects are pretty nice, I have to say. They're not bad at all. What is this? At the beginning of your turn, deal damage equal to firepower to a random enemy. Okay. All right. Did this not? Okay, it has a shield on it. Okay, I see. So I kind of misinterpreted that. A shield is kind of like your shields in Hearthstone, where you cannot take damage your first hit. So,
Automech squad prepared for assault.
let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to gain invincibility on this guy. Just take him out.
To dust. Optimal target identified.
Hit him in the face.
Squad leader reporting.
Put his screen down. And we're going to basically just disable this guy here and make it really hard for him to play a card. So the challenge is just keeping everything up so you can get lethal. He hasn't really taken a whole lot of damage to me, though. Okay, so there goes my screen. And he's probably going to take out my 4-2 as well, if he's smart. Can he even attack? I don't even know if he can attack or not. Oop, there we go. All right. So basically, this is going to die. He can actually not do anything. He's basically a pacifist, right? What we do have is we got copy 2 random unit cards from my opponent's hand. Let's see what we get. Fury, that's not 2. That's just 1. Did you only have 1? Fury, gain assault. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll decrease this guy's attack by 1 once again.
Dust to dust.
So he has to at least do something to me before actually running him into that to kill it. Alright, so I'm going to probably... This is basically like a chess AI. I'm going to put it out there. So even though he's taking longer, like, the reason it's taking longer is because the AI is going through more algorithms to see what it can do. And subsequently, it's basically like chess. It's choosing better moves than what it was a while ago. So this is not a real person. This is actually the AI that we're going against here. That's surprising, though. Oh, right. Okay. All right. So what have we got? Deal 3 damage to an enemy unit. We don't really need to do a whole lot there. Just decrease this guy by 1, and we'll just save it for the next turn. Because I'm sure he's going to play something, right? Wow. All right. All right, so what have we got? We've we've got a 4-cost screen. That'd be pretty good. I want to see what happens when we do this. So, my psychic energy is increased, but what does it do? Well, let's start by killing this guy right here. And then we'll be able to take an assault here. We don't really need to do anything about the costs of the cards because we're good on the supply. This match is taking a long time, I have to say. Does this guy have Fury? It has Fury. So we are actually doing pretty bad, actually. We're going to gain a screen here, obviously. And we're going to basically decrease this guy's attack by 1. We've run out of cards, but this guy has got a bunch of cards that are actually better than me. Yep, we're starting to lose here. However, you've got 10 cards left, so we're going to copy a couple, 2. Give me 2, please. Do I get a card? That seems like it didn't do what it was supposed to. You gypped me. Okay, the last time I did this, I only got 1 card, and now I play this and I get like 0. Let's see what card did I play again? Copy 2 random unit cards from your opponent's hand into your because you have 0. All right, yeah, okay, that's fine. Hey, it's a learning experience for me too. I'm not sure I'll play this game again. It seems like Hearthstone is the better game, but at least you guys know what it's all about. Can I emote to him? Let's emote to him.
The gods greet you.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Terra has come to end you.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for actually acknowledging my existence.
Establishing weapons link.
Your song shall fade.
Oh jeez. All right.
Are you sure?
Okay, I know it's not a person now. That was way too quick of a response. At least you're responding. I'm talking to a bot here. Oh. Hey, that's kind of neat, that little effect right there. All right, everybody, that is the Star Crusade space game. And I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next time.